guys in here yet. Just impromptu live, man. I know ain't nobody in here yet, but we're in the laser shop. Just kind of wanted to do a short live, show you guys what's going on in here. I don't see anybody. What if I turn it this way? Does it come in that way? Orientation locked. Rotate device back. Look, man. There. Oh, there's some people in here. I'm trying to get this to where I can turn it. Landscape mode. I don't know. What does this do? If I... Can you guys see it this way? I don't know. What does this do? What does this do? I know it's loud in here. Let's see if you can hear and see me. You guys see me? Well, you're seeing the lasers. Well, how do I do that? There. We got some people. Karen, Kim, and Gwen. Sound like a group. Yep. Karen, Gwen, and Kim, and Ida, and Whip It. Whip It good. Well, I guess I'm stuck on this vertical. I don't know. Man, beggars can't be choosers. What does this do? Okay, let's go take a look at what I'm doing here. I got Libby there. Look how beautiful that one's coming out, guys. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've been in here all morning getting these things dialed in. Over here, it's kind of hard to see, but I got Lucy going over here. And then over here, you know this boy, and I'm liking how this is coming out. Yep. That's Waldo. Yeah, we got 12 people. Beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So I'm running this laser and that computer off of that power generator and that power generator. And I forgot to charge that one. It was at about 70%. It's at 42%. We've been in here about 2 hours. And just been trial and error. So what I do a lot of test runs. As you can see, here's an example just to see how dark it looks, if it's the right format or not. And I kind of like that, but it was a little grainy, so I made some adjustments. And you know, sometimes they come out way too dark. You got to just stop it. Different types of material. I don't know. But that's what I'm gonna do. And let's see. Yep. Well, I'm trying to get them mastered before I start my other channel, because quite honestly, this channel is can't get any views, man. And you know what the big problem is? You guys know this. All right, say you get on YouTube, and all right, say I get on there, how to print an image on a laser engraver. Okay, I find a video, and then I go to look at my YouTube a little later, and everything it's suggesting is about laser engraving. And what that does is it takes all the people that you normally watch and kicks them out. And so eventually what happens is you get unsubscribed. And YouTube does no favors to channels. They just don't. They do us no favors by this algorithm. You can't contact them. If you do, if you get in there with the chat, it's an AI bot, you know, and nothing ever comes of it. So it's so aggravating, you know. And I'm not complaining, but a channel my size should have, and I get constantly told, well, I've been unsubscribed. And I'm hearing from people I haven't heard from in months. I can't remember everybody's name, and then you forget. You know, you forget who's there. Now there are subscribers that maybe I put up a short and they subscribed and you never hear or see from them again. Whatever. That's just part of that. But the algorithm kills us. This chat thing ain't, I don't guess anybody's chatting. There ain't many people in here, but I just threw this up, guys. I don't do lives very often, and I'm sitting in here waiting on these things to finish, and some of them take 2 hours or more. I'm learning how to speed that up. Spin it around again. It's just a matter of learning. And then I got this laser here. Something happened to it, and the laser, it doesn't want to work well. So I need to get in there and mess with that. But hey, I got 3 at a time going. And what's cool, and I did this earlier, but it blew a breaker because I've got 100 some feet of extension cord getting electric in here. But I can actually pull power from the grid over here and plug it into this while it's running and charge it up. But for some reason it kept tripping the breaker. So yeah, if you're just now getting in, we're doing some of the dog laser engravings. There's Waldo. That's one of my favorite pictures of him, where he's sitting on the porch of the fifth wheel. And then over here I got Lucy going. Oh, that one, I'm really liking how this one's coming out. That looks nice. And then over here, man, there's Libby. That looks great. I like it. These things are awesome to have. I'm really enjoying them. And it's, if you got a little minimal computer skills, you can, this print program, the heck's the name of it again? Lightburn. Very easy to learn. Very, very easy to learn. Well, let me see. There's Judy Joe and the big Italian. What's going on here? Laser engraving. Hardcore. And I'm busting butt in here, man. It's the job of dreams. You load the computers up, you get the lasers going, and you just kick back in the recliner. See? Doesn't get any better than that, does it? But yeah, I was going to take this recliner out of here to put in the dog apartment, and I'm like, I need this thing in here. I got my air conditioner in, but last year I ran it off the outlet on where I have my TV in the new room, but then I changed it. I ran a new outlet to the outside, but it's on the same circuit as the air conditioner in the dog apartment. And I can't run them both off that, so now I gotta wire another outlet off the other outlet. Gotta wire an outlet off the outlet. But we'll get that done. I had it running yesterday. It doesn't take long here. Hey, here's Bill. Bill said he's going to do the psychedelic room in his cabin, since I didn't do it, because he liked it so much. I told him, you can have that video for your channel. Can you guys hear me okay? That's the first time I've ever done a live out in the shed. I hope the internet's good. I did a speed test. It was, I got that outdoor mesh unit, and I get internet in here pretty good. So, all right. And then now I have an iPhone 16, which I will never go back to an Android after having this. Never. And I know there's a lot of background noise with the machines, but yeah, if you're a channel like maybe Bill or Judy, and you guys get the offer to get a laser, get it, because they are so fun. You can even, you can make money off of them, I'm sure. I'm not probably gonna, when I start this other channel, it's not about, I'm not gonna be charging anybody. If you haven't heard, I want to start a channel where you send me even if your dog's still alive, you send me a picture of your dog. Say he passed away, you got to have some good pictures. So if your dog's still living, start getting good pictures of your dogs while they're alive, because you can't do nothing with grainy, nasty pictures. And everybody should be able to take good pictures now, today's day and age. But I want to take pictures, and then they have to give me a pretty good story about their dog, some of the funny things they did, some of the times they got in trouble. And then I want to start off my videos by, showing the file of the pictures, and then I put the material in, and then I start the laser engraving. And as it starts, then I break into the story of the dog, maybe show some more of the dog's photos. And then at the end of the video, after the story is told, it's going to be some editing, then I'll show what I printed and what I made. I'm not just going to print plaques. I'm going to I can show you, put them in a frame. Let me see, I've got these here. Let me spin you around. I've ordered these plexiglass pieces. This is a square piece of plexiglass, the same size as these boards here, so I can kind of encase it in that and, just make them look cool. But I've got there's all kinds of things you can do with these lasers to make things interesting. So let me look at the comments here. I should have put my contacts in. I can't see. Hello from Scotland. Isn't that cool? You're in Scotland, and I'm in my shed in America. There's Ark Wildman. Wow, 43 people. That ain't bad for a impromptu live. So if you're just coming in and you hear all the noise in the background, that's my lasers running. I'll occasionally get up, and I'm not going to be on here too long, but I'll occasionally get up and show you guys what I'm doing. This one ought to be done before the live's over. You don't have a thumbs up button. Well, you probably don't have thumbs. Did you ever think of that? They know you don't have thumbs, so they don't bother giving you a button. I only have 100 subs. Don't think I'll be getting a laser offer. Actually, well, I think I got my first laser offer. I didn't have that many, maybe 4,000 subs. Yeah, when you're a small channel, you're not going to get any offers till you probably get at least 1,000, 1,500 subs, and then it's going to be Grub Terra, the chicken feed thing. Do not do it. Do not do it. You will hear from them for the rest of your life. They will never leave you alone. What is on my head? They will never leave you alone. I still get emails from them. Grub Terra. And I mean, it's not like they send you a big bag. It's a little 5 pound, not even 5 pound, 5 ounce bag. Well, they're not that expensive if you want it. You can actually buy one of these lasers. This one I got here, let me show you. I don't think it's very expensive. I think it's $300 or $400. And this is oh, it's done. So we get a bonus here. Let's see. I wasn't real happy with how this image came out the first time. I don't have a light in here. It's kind of stretched. Wow. It's usable. I think I'm going to leave it right where it sits because I'm going to put her name right here. And I could have done that all at once, but I didn't do it. I can also cut this out if I want. With the laser, it will cut. But this laser is not very expensive. And this is actually a 5 watt or 10 watt. 10 watt, I believe. But it is the best kind to have to do these kind of images. Now, let's check on Waldo over here. Oh, yeah. He's coming out real good. I've been having a lot of issues finding the right settings on this laser here. This is the Creality, but it's a 22 watt. And I have the burn speed or the burn power down to 15%. That's how, and I figured out where to put it. Whereas this one I had at 100% or 65%, and I believe I'm running this at 100% power. Yeah, that's the speed, and then that's the power setting. So, and this is also a 20 watts. I don't get it, but it works. But I'm gonna turn this machine off here for now because it's noisy. Or did I turn it back on? And these also have pre-programmed jobs you can run. And it's got all that stuff. I did reviews on this, so, well, I haven't done it on this one yet. I did on this one, same kind. And Libby's almost done. Boy, I'm liking that one. So that's what some of them look like. About to hit 4,000, just got an offer for one. Well, get it and give it to me. Dang, Jamie. The wattage? You mean the wattage it uses? You want to see? I'm running two. I'm running two right. Well, I was running one. I can show you what it's pulling. 69 watts, and I also have the fans plugged into that and the vacuum pump. So yeah, they don't pull much at all. You would think they would, but they don't. That one's pulling 72 watts. It's running the lap, also the exhaust fans and the laser and the camera and the light. I got LED lights, but they don't take much juice. But yeah, you should. I mean, the first one I got was at Creality, and it's very intimidating trying to learn it to do a review, because these people that send you these products, they hound you all the time. Did you get the video done? Did you get the video done? But then you got to learn. They give you certain things you got to do, and you got to learn how to do all that. Well, when I first got that, it was still a screen patio, and I had it in there. And, finally, and they still weren't happy with it, but I could probably do a good review on them now. But I'm hoping I get some more offers, because I'll put more of them in here. You ever got an offer on an e-bike yet? Man, that's like bottom of the barrel stuff there. I did get an offer for an e-bike, but they want me to do 2 videos, and I'm not doing 2 videos. I've done 10 e-bike reviews, and I've never had to do 2 videos. They don't even, you're not getting many views on these product reviews. And sometimes you get, and almost every one of them, people unsubscribe from you because, well, they're pricks, They think because a channel is doing that, we're sellouts. Well, hey, man, a lot of us, this is what we do for a living. I don't look at it that way. And you don't see them all the time on my channel. I do very few. Unlike some other channels that do them on it. And it has to be a decent product. I'm not going to do a review on a $50 item, or something like that. Okay, we got another one done here, guys. Let's take a look at it. Chinese language barrier. I know. Because these people that are sending you the offers, they're in China. And they got names like Steve and Buddy. Their name's Ching Chong. They're not Steve. They're not Buddy or Cindy. And so you try and explain things to them. And it's just a whole different culture. All right, let's take a look at Libby here. I haven't done one of Libby yet, so now I have one, and I'm already loving it. Now you got to have these tents over your or some sort of case. You can build one, because you get smoke. You get a lot of smoke, and there's the exhaust vent. Also, it has you'd have to wear these glasses if you didn't have it to look at the laser. All right, we can call this one done. I'm going to pull it out. And these little things here, they hold your wood or your material in place. Look at that, guys. Is that not awesome? I love it. That is going on the wall for sure. Now, I took this image. Okay, let me show you. I took that image and I put it in Chat GTP and I said, hey man, Chat GTP guy, can you prepare this for a laser engraver? And it did all the work, and I just had to put it in. Let me go to my downloads here. I just had to put it into the machine, or the, and it does, and they come out this way, okay? When Chat GTP does it. Come on, I'm blowing you up, blow up. So after you give them the photo, they'll render the photo like this, and then you just put it into the print or the laser software, and you can adjust the brightness or whatever. This is the next one I want to do. I did it once and it just didn't come out right, but now I have the settings right. But I'm not going to do it today because I need to charge these things up. So anyway, I mean, you just have to, what you do is you just do little 2-inch pictures on your material so you can play around with it and get the settings right. Yeah, let's set this dude up here. That looks great. I like it. That took about an hour. And it just, you know, I got to save that because that setting, the settings for that, because that just, it comes out perfect. And Waldo, he's got a ways to go. And I got this one available. I'm not going to put her name on this one. I think I can. Let's get this out and see how it looks out of the machine. Come on. And then you got to have these honeycombs down here so you don't burn through your table. And then under this is a big aluminum plate, a steel plate that goes under there. I can show you there, right here. You can see that there's a plate under there. Keeps you from burning through the table because they will burn. All right, let's put this one up. Yeah, I mean, for what this was, it come out all right. She's a little stretched. I could probably cut this out, put it on my saw and cut this out and use it somewhere, maybe on a cabinet door or whatever. That one's going on the wall, and I'm gonna think Waldo probably will too. Now you're still gonna get the wood grain like that. That can't be helped, but I think it kind of adds a little character to it. You don't really see it too. You see it a little bit in this one, but that's kind of cool. And you can take sandpaper and sand it down, but I don't see that happening with that one. Sometimes they get a little too dark, but that one come out good. And some of the other stuff, like this, I haven't played around with it too much, but it will cut into the wood. You know, if you want to make some sort of plaque, I've done that. I got to do Waldo a headstone. And trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. You know, kind of stuff like, here's some stuff up here. Johnny Cash. If you ain't guessed, I'm a Johnny Cash fan. So that's what that's about. All right. Let me read the chat here. Oh. Well, thank you, Brenda. There's big dreams, tiny budget with the painted new painted house. That looked good. You should have painted it psychedelic like I was going to do that room. You know, you got to be the talk of the neighborhood. That's good. I'm surprised that this is coming in. We're just waiting on one more job to finish, and then I'm going to shut it down in here. Take a look over at the distance there. Let's see. Wonder if I could zoom in. You can. I love this phone. Kind of shaky, or is that me? Yeah. This shop's been working out. I've got a lot of hours working on this thing. If you haven't watched the video, it took forever. I don't remember if I did it in the summer or the winter. I think I did it in like the spring, beginning of last summer. Something like, but it was already insulated, so it wasn't that bad. So far this summer hadn't been that hot at all. I remember when I built the addition, the end of April, it was already into the 90s and humid. It was absolutely miserable. 64 people. I don't even know if I monetized this or not. I just was on there posting a community post and I seen the live button. I said, I wonder if I could do a live out here. That's something I couldn't do before fiber. But the internet was terrible for the last 2 days. I Googled if that solar flare would affect fiber internet, and it said no, but it could affect whatever, YouTube or whatever you're trying. I tried to watch a YouTube video and it was just jumpy. And then I had extremely slow download and upload speeds. And then this morning it was fine. I unplugged the monitor or the modem. I tried everything. But it was too slow. So what I was saying before, when I do that on the channel, I have a lot of people telling me they'll buy stuff from me. I'm not doing this for a business. I could probably make money off of it, but then it's a job. Okay, I'm retired. I don't want to. When you start taking orders, then you got a commitment. I'm living a lifestyle that I can do whatever the hell I want. I don't want commitments. I don't need the income from this. Okay, I don't have a big income at all, but everything I own is paid off, and so I'm happy with what I got. And I got enough to where I can get a few extra things if I need them. But I don't, I'm a pretty simple guy. I don't need a ton of money to be happy. Some of the most miserable people in the world are wealthy. And I ain't saying I wouldn't mind a few $1,000,000 in the bank, but check on this. But it ain't gonna happen. Waldo's still going. He's almost done. And this is one of them photos that, with Lucy's picture here, I took the background out. Because if you got like a bunch of grass and stuff there, well, it just takes a lot longer for it to print. But I really couldn't do that here. It wouldn't have made much sense. It would have looked weird if he was just floating. So I didn't take the background out. So that's what the original image. Now this is just an image. The one that I did with Libby there is I had ChatGTP optimize it for the laser, and it really worked out. So yep, let me get away from the light there. I don't even know if any of this interests you guys. I guess if it don't interest you, you're not in here, right? How come you don't do lives with well, I don't know. Because we're not friends anymore. I did make a video on that, okay? All it needs to be said. I ain't smashing it, I don't badmouth him or anything. I don't hear him badmouthing me, so that's that's the way life is sometimes. How many friends do you have? Even my best friend, I don't talk to him anymore. People change as you get older, and sometimes you don't agree. So I don't do lives on my channel anymore. just, I just out here today, very rarely, just out here today and figured I'd do one. Yep. So, what is it, 30 minutes in? Yeah, I think we'll wait till this one here and we'll see how much time I got. 8 minutes. This laser engraving will be done in 8 minutes and we'll end the live there. But it's 81 degrees today, so I don't need to run the air conditioner or nothing. So it was a perfect day to be in here. So we're supposed to get a lot of rain this week, but we haven't. Thank God. I could do without it. We've had enough. Let's see where we're at here. I'll just show you some of the stuff you got to have to do this. Like I said, you got to have the tent that goes around it. Now, if you were to, a nice thing about having these power supplies, look how many plugs I've got going there. I got 3 into there. There's 2 into there. You would need a big wall outlet to get all this stuff going. So these help out a lot. And also you can print on like construction paper. I haven't done that yet. Different colors, construction paper. This is actually like vinyl. The vinyl stickers that you do. You can do that. Haven't got into that yet. And you can actually take this wood and spray paint different layers of colors. A blue, a red, a green, and just keep coating it with spray paint and then put it in the laser and it comes out in color. It's really cool, and that's something I want to try pretty soon. I just got to learn the basics before I can get fancy. And so that's some of the things I'll do on the channel. It ain't going to be like I'm going to stick a piece of wood in there every week and print the same type picture. I'll change it up. But that channel, I got to get some of my projects done around here, and then I can maybe, it isn't going to be that hard. I can spend one day in here filming that and then edit. It'll just be a weekly video. I wouldn't want to commit to any more than that. Problem's going to be, people are going to start sending me their dog pictures and their stories, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with every one of them, So I don't know how you handle that. Eventually I could maybe get to them, but you don't want to. Then people are going to be upset. Well, you did theirs, but you wouldn't do mine. You've had it for 2 months. Well, I may do 2 videos a week. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe nobody will send me a video. Maybe the channel will be a flop. But it can't be any worse. I haven't seen a channel like that out there. People like dogs, and, maybe it's too sad for people to watch. I don't know. Will you be making a name in stone? Well, eventually, when it's my time, no. Yeah, maybe eventually. I got to learn how to do it on wood first. I'm learning. Before you start investing in pieces of granite and stuff, I don't really have the best lasers for that. It'll do it, but I think you need like a big diode laser or CO2 laser for that. I'm not even close to that yet. So it's like a baby. You got to start out crawling, and then eventually you might be able to work into those big things. And there's tons of channels out there to learn from. So that's still waiting on Dogman coasters. Whoa, man, let me see. I got them. Just ain't print nothing on them yet. That's something I need to do. Who the hell uses coasters anymore? I get a paper towel and put it down. But yeah, I can make some of them. And then I owe a few people some stuff. I'm Your Huckleberry ones. That's popular. People like that one. I don't think I got one of them in here. Got one in the house. But the plan is to fill all this place, fill all these shelves, every space up there with cool laser engravings. And not only that, you can, let me look up here. Look here. Look here. Make jigsaw puzzles out of them. See there? It'll print them and then cut them out. You can give them to your little brats. Say, hey man, get busy. What do you think a modern kid would do if you threw that? Well, if they're under 5, they're going to like it. I got to keep these separated because I don't want to mix the parts up. Have you ever bought a jigsaw puzzle at Goodwill? Yeah. You get that sucker all put together and you're missing 3 pieces. Boy, does that make you mad. Here's some more pictures I did. But you can cut stuff out. I made like a sleigh, Christmas sleigh, Santa sleigh. That's a picture. That's a picture a friend of mine sketched. That's one I sketched in 2008. You know who that is. And then there's one I engraved, way too dark. There it is. I'm your Huckleberry. He just passed away, man. Best Huckleberry guy there was. What we got here? That's a picture of my house. And I put a 70 GMC pickup there. These were all just like practice stuff. But, you can go into the craft store and buy these things. I can actually make, I got a router and I got a scroll saw. I could make these if I wanted to. Kind of sound like that old man. I can make one cheaper than that. Well, most things today you can't make cheaper. All right, this one's almost done. What we got left? 96. We got 1 minute left, and Waldo will be done, and we'll get him out. But let me shut this one down. We'll shut this one down. Yep. And then each of these tents, I've got LED lights. You can order these, they stick. And then it has a webcam where I could go in the house and watch the job print from my other computer. I also got a blink camera here. So, because a lot of these jobs are 2 hours long. You don't want to sit in here the whole time. So I can get on my phone with my blink camera. I can watch all of these and see where they're at. Because you can see the glow from that camera if they're still running. As you can see, it has a glow in there whenever the laser's firing. And then, if you got your lasers in a shop, you need to vent them. So it's just like dryer hose. I've got this. This is a vent. And it just sucks the smoke out. Now, this one has a fan inside there. So it has a double one. And then this one here, there's a vent in here that pulls it out, draws it out. So, and a lot of that stuff is not expensive, The laser is your most expensive part, and then of course you're going to need laptops or a desktop. I think I want to get a desktop put in here and organize this better so I don't have to, I can run it all from one computer, because you can run 10 windows of this on one computer and control all the different lasers. All right, we're almost done with Waldo. So when Waldo's done, the live is done. Let me catch up on the chat here. Crafting expenses. Well, let me. That's a good point. Let me show you. Now this stuff here, as you know, lumber, the prices fluctuate. So I got a pack of 50 of these. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't cheap. I think it was like 40 bucks, 30 or 40 bucks. But when I was doing my dog apartment, I got this 1/4-inch plywood. Ain't much difference. $13 for a 4x8 sheet. So I could put this on my table saw and cut them into that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get them and save a whole lot of money. Now, it is a little thicker, but that's all right, you know. But you really don't want wood any. You could use darker wood, but you just got to set your laser to burn a little darker, and then, you know. But what's nice is if you got a project going in the house and you got a piece of leftover scrap, well, you just cut them up on the saw, and then you can use them in here to burn on the laser. And then like this, look how bright that is compared to that. So I'm saving these for something else, something when I'm better at it. But that's how it goes. Oh, there's a better one of that. I used to have that sign up. All right, let's check on Waldo. Yeah, you got to have patience with these, I'll tell you that. Now it's saying 2 minutes, but it's at 98%. He's almost done. Then we'll get him out, and we'll set him up next to Libby and then Lucy. Are you gonna drop some more weight? Yeah, I got about 16 pounds to go. It kind of made me mad because I went to, let me move this stuff out of my chair. I went to the VA. I got to go once a year for the blood work, the physical and all that, and then see the doctor. And still had me down as obese. Morbidly obese. I don't think I don't think I was morbidly obese before, you know. But I'm 6'1". They say I should be 175 pounds. I don't think I could ever get down to that, you know. I'd be a toothpick, 175 pounds. You know, you got to have some weight to you. But I'm wearing size 32 jeans now. When I was wearing, what did I have? 42 at one point. 42s. 40s, wore them for years. But I am down to size 32. They're a little tight, but I can still button them without having to, you know, lay on the bed and do that. I can still button them. Because I bought 34s, and I don't wear jeans during the summer, but I bought 34s, and I had some room. But it wasn't enough to where I was, you know, I waited a couple weeks, and then last week I bought some 32s, and I can get in them. And that's, you know, they're brand new. So when you first put them on, you got to walk around, stretch them dudes out a little bit, you know, and then they're good. Because you know how it is, you put on a pair of pants, and they're nice and snug. Then you don't wear a belt, and then you go to the store, and then they've all loosened up, and you got the saggy butt, walking around the store, pulling your pants up. I hate it when that happens. Yeah. Yeah, I like those puzzles. I wouldn't mind doing one of these pictures of my dogs and then cutting it out as a puzzle and then just putting it back and gluing it. You know how you put together a puzzle and you make a picture out of it. That would look cool. What, oh, you're welcome. What did your weight when I was in the Army? I first went in, I was 159 pounds. I was 17 years old. And when I re-enlisted the second time, it was 214 pounds, and they wouldn't pass me. I had to lose 14 pounds before I could re-enlist, and they wouldn't let me just drop it. I had to come back in 2 months. They said, no, you can't do it in a week. You got to do it in 2 months. So I went and run around the block every night for a few times and quit eating so much. Because let me tell you, back then, when I was 18, 20 years old, I would eat. If you've ever ate at Whataburger, I ate 4 of those and 3 large fries and in one setting, 4 of them. The store manager hated seeing me come in. But I was always a big eater. But I didn't start gaining weight until I hurt my back, you know, because I've always worked jobs where I've been on my feet and hard labor jobs. I wouldn't say hard, but that's when I started putting on the weight. And I think the way the food has changed, a lot of people think, I see this. If you guys ever watch that channel Snow and Kurt, where they travel around in the van, they're over in Africa right now. I hadn't watched that for a couple of years, and I was shocked. I was shocked by how much weight they had gained. And they're always showing them eating fruit, stuff like that. Well, fruit, believe it or not, fruit is one of the worst things you can eat. It's full of sugar. I mean, you can eat it, but they're buying bunches of bananas over there, and bananas are not, they are not good for weight loss at all. So, but I couldn't believe how much, I can imagine if you're on that kind of a lifestyle, traveling in a van, you're going to gain some weight. But you see that people, when I first heard of carnivore, I was like, these people are nuts, man. They're going to die of a heart attack. You would not believe how good I was driving to Walmart yesterday and just couldn't believe how good I felt. You just feel amazing. And, so many people don't understand. Just try it. That's all I tell people. Just try it for 30 days. And if you don't start feeling better, then, well, you ain't doing it right. The best way to lower your high blood pressure is don't consume sugar or carbs. Mine's normal. Mine was really high. But sugar, the thing is, your body is supposed to burn fat. That's what your body's designed to do, burn fat. Well, they started introducing carbs to all this food that we eat. Well, then your body has no choice but to burn the carbs before it burns the fat. Well, if you keep piling in the carbs into your body, it's never going to burn the fat. And that's why people are overweight now when they weren't overweight 50 years ago. I don't remember seeing every single kid overweight in class when I was in grade school or high school. You had one, maybe two, in a class of 50, and they got picked on. And maybe they were the ones that were left home alone to eat whatever they wanted. I don't know, but it just wasn't common. All right, Waldo's done. And let's check him out here. All right. I sure miss this guy, man. I miss him like you wouldn't believe. He was a good boy. It just ain't the same around here without him. All right, there he is. I think it come out pretty good. I hear you, Waldo. See, he's still around. Get out of the way. All right. Still see the wood grain, but hey, man, it's wood. So there's Waldo. That's Keeper. There's Libby Lou. That's Keeper. And there's Lucy. You guys didn't get to know Lucy. She died in 2017. She was Waldo's brother. They were litter mates. And they showed up at the same time, playing in the yard, 2013. And they were about 8 to 10 months old. So they were born, or 2012 is when they showed up. They were born in about 2011. And I come out in the yard one day, and there she was, just laying. She was gone. No explanation. She was fine. I looked out in the yard, out my bathroom window, about 11 o'clock at night. And she was out there playing with Lily. And, I took her to the vet that morning when I discovered her, and she checked her body out and said, yeah, she probably had a twisted stomach, which happens sometimes. So I had thought she might have ate some mushrooms. I still think that. There were some wild mushrooms growing in the yard, but I'll never know. It was just her time, I guess. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. And I appreciate y'all coming to the live. And maybe we'll do this again. Let's get another look. So we did Waldo, Libby, and Lucy. So those are keepers. I don't know. I think I might be able to tweak that, but I'm still keeping it. That come out pretty good. I like the details. You know, you can still see the eyes, and it did come out good. So yeah, she's a keeper. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Happy trails. How do I end this thing? I don't do these lives, man. I don't know. How do I stop it? Push that off? Or you sure want to stop streaming? Yeah, I want to stop streaming. Is it what? Why they gotta make it so hard? Happy trails.